man. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about some of your early inspirations?
Early inspirations, as far as a producer,
Yeah, like hip hop, Chicago, like either Chicago or worldwide, like in terms of like when you first was getting into it.
getting making beats or
Yeah,
just hip hop period.
well, hip hop period, really.
Oh, it all started. For me, it started with graffiti. You know what I'm saying? I got family from the Bronx, and in the late '70s, they used to come to Chicago for cousins. And they used to come to Chicago for summer vacation and stay the whole summer.
All right.
So like '79, my cousin Michelob from COD Crew, Graph Crew, what up y'all? They still exist in New York. COD Crew, my cousin Michelob. He came to Chicago with big 11 by 17 sketchbooks and told me what you know about this. Now I'm a little kid, but I'm big enough to, try to hang with big cousin them,
All right.
even though I was a shorty. So he showed me all these drawings. I'm drawing the five Chinese men, the little karate shit, but he was like, what about this? He was showing me like all these colors and letters and shit. And I'm like, who is Michael O? He was like, that's Michelob. And I'm like, the beer? He like something like that. My name Michael, so I call myself Michelob after the beer. I was like, what is this? He like, this graffiti, boy. You don't know nothing about this. Y'all don't do this in Chicago. And I don't know. I'm a kid, so I can't even say whether we did or not because I'm a shorty. I ain't been no further than my block in church. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I bet I could do that. And he was like, gave me to get the fuck out, the fuck up look like, fuck up, you can't do this, right? So I was like, let me keep your book overnight and I'm gonna draw this and I ain't gonna trace it. So he did. I drew it, brought it back to him, like, check it out. And he was like, oh shit, yo, don't quit, keep going.
And would you
Don't
say like
quit.
that's the first motherfucker that was like, yo, I think you can do something?
Yeah.
That's dope. And you say this is after '79, right?
This was like 79,
Damn.
the summer of '79. And I was like, oh shit. So a couple of years go past, I never stopped drawing this graffiti shit. I ain't know nothing about it. And then he came back and I was like, yeah, man, I got good. I got good. I'm Shorty JJ. That was my little fake name.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And he was like, Shorty JJ, but whatever, let me see what you got. He was like, okay, okay. And then he started playing these damn mixtapes. That's what they was, like park battles and shit. I guess it had to be the Grandmaster Cast, the Grandmaster Flash, the Fantastic Five, Kumo D battles. He was playing that shit for me. And I'm like, what is this? And he was like, man, this hip hop, you don't know about this. I'm like, this rapping like the shit like Curtis Blow, cause that's all we had was Curtis Blow in the
Right.
Sugar Hill gang. So I'm like, this like Curtis Blow. He like, yeah, but this the real rap shit. Y'all ain't got this in Chicago. He go bragging again on New York
How
and
much
shit.
time between you really getting the graffiti and then when he started playing you those tapes?
Like 79, like 81.
Damn. So like 2 years.
Yeah, like 2 years. He came back and we'd be in the room, the living room with the well at the crib. It was like the sunroom, but it was big as hell. So like the study of the sunroom, that's where his little space at over uh unmarried no crib. So he'd be drawing and playing these tapes, and I'm like, man, this well, I don't know, this sharp, whatever the word was in '81, man, this sharp,
Shot.
you
Damn,
know.
81, nigga. That's what I was born.
It wasn't no this cold, it's fresh, nothing. So he like, yo, we say it's fresh. It's fresh and that's dope. And he telling me all this shit. And I'm listening to this shit like, damn, oh man, who is this? Then he started breakdance like, y'all don't know about this. Then he was showing me breakdance and I was like, get the fuck out of here. What the hell is you doing? So I just got enthralled because of him. He introduced me to hip hop, long story short. So I'm doing graffiti.
And what's bro name again one more time?
Michelob.
Michelob. Shout out Michelob.
Yeah, shout out Michelob. He wound up becoming a successful engineer like the unsung heroes, the people in the background that's doing a lot, but you don't know. Like he did a lot of engineering for the Roots and remixes for a lot of artists and shit, but he just the guy you don't hear about. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So yeah, he official. He official. And he introduced me to this shit. Him, my cousin Charmaine, Alexandria. That's his two sisters. They all kind of embraced me because they seen I was like totally into this shit at a young age. So yeah, that's how it started for me, man. With hip hop, period.
No doubt, from 79 to 81.
Yeah,
So it's like the Genesis.
yeah.
All right. Would you say that directly influenced your skills right now, or did it take a while for you to fall into producing?
Um, it took me a while to fall into producing because I didn't know what producing was.
All right.
None of us did. I don't even think he was aware, because back in like fucking 81, only people was producing was like, if it was considered producing, was like old heads. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking Larry Smith, these grown ass men. It wasn't a kid game back then. It was
Right.
like fucking Teddy Pendergrass uncle. The producers that wind up kind of diving into hip hop at that time was people that was making music prior to that from like the soul R&B era. Like you can even say Cameo.
Mm-hmm.
They jumped into the word up shit, trying to mock hip hop. It was really disrespectful if you really look at the big thing with them, but they was into like the whole drum machine era shit. Marvin Gaye knew Sexual Healing was an 808 drum machine backdrop. You know what I'm saying? But they all came from the R&B era, slow jams. The Dusty era. What we sample today, ironically. But yeah, so when I got into producing, it was well way after that. And what got me into producing is when I realized it was young guys producing. But the first people I wasn't into. I love Run DMC and all that, but I wasn't into who made the beats. I love
Right.
Planet Rock, but I wasn't into who made the beats. And then when I found out, I was like, of course, Art Baker, some white guys and shit. Art of Noise, It's Time, and all that. And Buffalo
Mantronics.
Girls
Yeah.
and shit. But hold up, when I say Mantronics,
Yeah.
I said, wait a minute, these ain't no old guys, and no white guys. These are like young guys doing these beats. What the fuck? So you see Mantronics on the album cover, drawings of him holding 909, 808 drum machines. I'm like, what the fuck is that in their hand? That's what they make the beats on? And I'm like, man, we gotta get a hold of this. Mind you, funny enough, Kingdom, what's up, cuz? He was around this whole time. This before Ran Ill, all that shit. We was kids.
Okay.
That's my cuz. Like he was around with my cousins from New York. All of them, they was all older than me. He was there ever since I was in Pampers. So he seen me come up, tape mixing, BMX, house music, the whole little shit, whatever I could do musically, he was watching me do it. Like,
And that's what I was just about to ask you. Like, tell us about the growth. Like, when you really got into it, you had your machines. Like,
I
tell us
didn't
about
have
how,
nothing. It was
How did you get to it?
it was a dream, and it was tapes. And hold up. So I used to live on 31st and Giles.
Okay.
We moved to the Adderby Wells in like 81. I was back and forth because my grandmother lived on 31st and Giles, but we really moved to the projects in like 81. We was back and forth all my life because we had people over there, but when we literally just made that home, we moved over there because Kingdom them always lived over there. So we was always in Adderby Wells ever since like the 70s and shit. Because Kingdom mama and my mama was like, you couldn't separate them, and that's how we cousins and shit because his mom's about to marry my uncle, blah, 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 blah. All right, so when I moved to the Adderby Wells, I came in the projects when hip hop was at its peak of popularity back in the 80s. Run DMC and B Street had came out. I was already doing graffiti, so I was a step ahead of the curve, and that's what got me good in the projects because everybody's like, this nigga already doing this shit. And we went to go see this movie and we infatuated. Everybody loved it. I was already doing it. Kingdom knew. Kingdom was like, okay. So my first introduction to drum machines and DJing was Kingdom. Him and Chainsaw was the first ones that had turntables in the projects that let me come through and kick it with them. I was able to kick with Chainsaw because he was cool with Kingdom, and Kingdom was my cousin. And he said, little cuz really want to do this shit. They brought me into Ran Nation back in like 83, 84. because I was already doing graffiti, I was literally bombing trains as a shorty. So it was like Ran Nation was like Shyrock. But back in the early 80s, you know what I'm saying, before Shyrock really was what it is, Ran Nation, Rockin' All Nations was in the
So you
projects.
say you was bombing trains, you was running tunnels and shit?
Hell yeah. As a kid, I was bad, bro. I'm talking about 11, 12 years, 10 to 12 years old. I
fuck
was
being
already
bad, like,
established.
you say bombing trains, like you was really doing
Yeah, I
graffiti.
was on the
Yeah.
I was on the
You
trains,
was
bro.
crossing
I was,
motherfuckers out and shit.
yes, the big North Side, South Side war. I was already in the game before all that shit happened. Like we was bombing, I was bombing trains. I was already citywide before I even got down with this music shit. On the hip hop side, I was already known as a graffiti writer, a bomber in Chicago before music even. In grammar school, I was already established like Northside and shit. They knew who I was because I was getting up. You know what I'm saying? So, but Kingdom and Chain bought the first turntables. I lied to Chain, told him I could scratch. He was like, didn't know how to scratch for shit, but I knew what it was. So I went over his crib, fucking tore his records. Man, he was so damn mad, G. I tore his shit up. He was like, nigga, man, you sat up here and just fucked up my needles. You took, man, your ass is whack. So I was like, man, just let me keep this one record. Bring it back. Same way with my cousin. Let me keep the drawing book. I'm going to draw this shit, no trace. I was like, Chain, let me keep the record. I'm going to bring it back. I kept the record for like 3 days. My sister had the record player with the slide and balance switch on it. Unplugged one side, the other side cut on, cut off like a fader. That's how I learned to scratch. Didn't know about putting no filter cardboard or plastic up under the record. So I tore up his record because the bottom of the record was so fucking bruised and had big ass white rings around it from the plate on the record.
Back in the day and shit.
Yeah, that hard ass plastic. I fucked this shit up. But I learned how to scratch. And then next time I went back over there, I was like, let me see something. And I just applied the same knowledge on that record player on this mix. I was like, I got to scratch backwards. I can't go the regular way. I had to go the fader that way because that's how the balance was. That was comfortable for me. So I did that, and I was killing that shit. He was like, oh, shit. And then Kenny was like, that's my little cuz. Put him in Ran. You know, Ran. No, I was already in Ran. Ran kind of broke up. Then I came back lying, talking about I could DJ 9 shit. And then I lied, and then he put me down, and we was cool. But yeah, that was my first shit. And Kingdom got the first drum machine. I think it was a 626. Me and MD Word was trying to figure that motherfucker out. He let MD Word keep it and fuck with it more than me. But he always let me DJ, so I got real good at DJing. Wanted to learn how to make beats. But then Chainsaw bought a drum machine and a Casio sampler. And both of us learned that shit together. And that's when it was on and popping, because Mantronics was a big influence. And then 45 King just took me down. That was it. When I heard 45 King, I knew that's what I wanted to do. Because Mantronics was technically good and made some banging ass shit. But 45 King was grimy technical. All his shit sounded like what Beat Street looked like. The snares, the kicks, you know, you had Molly Mall and all that shit, but that 45 King, them beats and them samples he was doing, man, Joe, I was just like, word, man, this shit sound like spray paint music, bro. That's what made me just want to go all the way and do that shit, and I never looked back.
You remember the first joint you tried to emulate? Like the end result, you was like, man, I'm gonna try to make a joint like this.
Nope.
It was always, you always had at least an idea to just go in fresh and just come up with something from nothing.
What I emulated was the techniques.
Gotcha.
I didn't emulate nobody's shit to get better or try to do their sound. I emulate how they did shit. Like if I hear a drum roll on a Mantronics record, I wouldn't emulate him. I would just try to figure out how he did it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll use it, maybe I won't.
Like a Mantronics type beat.
Yeah, like dun, 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 dun. It wasn't like my whole thing. See, this the thing. Coming from the graffiti side of shit, biting, bro. That shit wasn't allowed. It wasn't about you cannot be out here biting. That shit was forbidden. So I wasn't emulate nobody because I looked at it as biting. And I was dedicated to the rules and regulations of
Plus,
the
you had
culture.
a graffiti mind too.
Yeah, I
So
had a
you
graffiti
knew how to
mind.
come up with shit from nothing.
Yeah, you
That's kinda
had
why I
to.
was going
Even
with
if
that.
you didn't know, you better learn, but
Right.
don't do what he doing. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Learn from it, but don't take his shit. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing about hip hop that was so good. Everybody was their individual self.
Right.
You could hear a Big Daddy Kane and know it was Big Daddy Kane. You could hear Coogee rap and know it was Coogee rap, Rakim and so on. You could hear producers. You knew Mantronics when you heard Mantronics. You knew 40 Fat King when you heard 40 Fat King. You know, you knew Premier when you heard Premier. You know, but you could tell where our influence come from.
Facts.
Right.
So yeah, I never bit or I never tried to emulate or do nothing. I just wanted to learn the ins and outs of whatever it was they was doing that I was interested in.
No doubt, no doubt. I think that's how all of us kind of looked at it. I had a Roland S50 and an RY30, man. So, like, my brother showed me how to just hook up the MIDI. He ain't really go into you need these sounds or you need to use these records. He was like, this is how you do it. That's how they do it in the studio. So
Right.
I really made my shit like corny, on the quantized, boom, boom, psh, just how I heard motherfuckers was doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I can definitely relate to that. You remember? Tell us about like that first time you had a dope ass beat, like you had a finished product and you played it for somebody, and then that person was like, "Damn, bro, like, yeah, this shit is it." I know it's a lot of different memories when those times happen, but is there one that you could place to a turning moment that made you go even harder? And then I remember when I had it one time, the next beat I made after that was better than the last one, and that was the type of turning point I was talking about.
Damn, that's wild. That's kind of hard to say because it was so many, bro.
It don't have to be just one, you know.
Well, one time, I knew I had some shit, man. You gotta realize, man, I did a lot of stuff, bro. Early on, when I did something, I knew we had something. Well, one time where I felt I had something when me, B Stark, shout out to B Stark, shout out to Sears Tower, shout out to my brother Dark Horse, still in the building with me, SSMG. When I did this track called Three the Hard Way. And I knew when I finished the beat and where I was going with the beat and the way they responded when they heard it, I knew I had something in and it made me want to go hard. That was one time I knew it. I had that feeling like this is one of the ones, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was some before, but I'd rather not talk about that.
Nah, for sure. What would you what type of tools would you use now? Like if you go back in time, I hate to sound so corny, like go back in time, but is there anything now that you think would have made your journey easier or like enabled you to do more things or to make them bigger or to scale things at all?
Nope. Cause no, shit. Cause I was always one to get the most out of the bare minimum.
Yeah.
So it really ain't phased me whether I had ample amount of studio time or one drum machine or whatever. I do. It don't matter to me, G. I take a 2-minute sampler and make something work, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you know, I think it's too easy now. I like the grind. You know what I'm saying? Because it made you work. It made you appreciate what you was doing. Because to come up with something basically out of nothing and lack of knowledge to learning on the spot, everything was pretty much trial and error. You know what I'm saying? You know, to speeding up the records just to get a loop.
Just to get the sample time, yeah.
Digging for just a kick and a snare. You know, I wouldn't change shit. Whatever I got now, I don't use all of it to its full potential because I like the bare minimum just for the grind and the grimy of it. You know, yeah, I could clean that sample up, but do I really want it? What if I couldn't clean it up? Exactly. Would I still like it? So sometimes I just leave shit the way it is. I don't have no preference on nothing. I'm good.
No, that's dope. I wanted to use that as a segue. I know a lot of times it's like the kids they don't appreciate shit, and they just on this whole new wave of shit, and it's good to hear somebody speak on just how different the times are. I never try to say I'm just this OG that made shit so dope and so different, but there is a disconnect, man, of just being able to come up with your own idea, like going out and downloading a whole list of loops. You know what I'm saying?
Sound packs and all that shit.
That's like I don't mind that, but you could dig in the records. They're all based off the records.
Yeah.
You know.
That's why I said it's too easy for everybody, bro.
No doubt. Now, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, how would you, if you want to speak on that, like, what's your statement on, like, the fairness of giving this generation a fair shake and saying it's not about y'all just being different or want to do things your way. It's just things are done so radically different now. You know what I'm saying?
All I can say is I ain't hating on nobody. I don't feel no kind of way about what people do now, about how people do what they do now. Shit, to each his own. But I will say, don't come to me with no bullshit when you ain't paid the dues I paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got it easy. Point blank simple. You got it easy. Now, this the difference between guys like myself and these new guys. You can take all that shit away, all of it, the software, everything, and sit you in front of a drum machine, bro, and a turntable. Y'all would be stuck. Me, I'll be right in my motherfucking zone. Cause y'all got it too easy. Y'all don't know what it's like to search and sample for sounds and know what to do with those sounds after you find them. Y'all, it's bigger than a loop. You know what I'm saying? You don't know about chopping and coming up with ideas. You don't know. Y'all shit is right there. You can download a MIDI pack, drag and drop, and the only thing you doing is finding whether you want this same damn loop is gonna be a piano, a guitar, a string, a bullshit ass trap turn up sound, or whatever. But the thing is already done for you. And you know what? The older people before me got the right to talk shit because they actually playing it. They could say the same thing. If they stripped me of my turntable and my drum machine and sat me in front of the piano, I'm fucked up. Cause they not there be in their zone. It's like that, bro. We had it easier than the generation before us, and y'all got it fucking a million times easier than all generations. Yeah. But don't hate on the generation before y'all, because if it wasn't for us, y'all wouldn't have them MIDI packs. If it wasn't for y'all, if it wasn't for us and people before us that actually play the fucking shit that makes the MIDI packs for you to just grab and drag in, y'all wouldn't really be talking about shit. So, but do what you do, man. I mean, if you get money, but don't act like you doing nothing special, because you really not. And then everything cookie cutter, you heard one drill beat, you done heard them all. Where your different snares, where your different kicks, all this shit is the same kit.
It really gets to an interesting point where it's like, even if we say, shouts out to the motherfuckers that's making the loops, the people that took the actual time to say, I don't really need to make the whole beat. Let me help somebody out that really don't have the musical prowess to put it all the way together. Even their approach has been pretty stale, especially if you know people are going to use the same type of drum sounds to put over the loops. You got to change it up. So we use different snares and kicks and atmospheres and this.
Bro,
it's just interesting dynamic, I think.
The industry made everybody so tunnel vision and brainwashed and complicit to one sound. To use anything different is fucking weird, which is crazy. If your beat does not have that typical drum kit with them typical sounds in the back, with that tempo, you consider that out of tune and the lame, and you not up, and that shit sound dated, and man, don't nobody want to hear that old shit and all that. And really, you sound like all this music now is, I mean, whatever, bro. But it's like this assembly line of the same. It's like manufacture everything. It's like, here go a toy going down the assembly line at the wheels at the what's name is a car toy, right? Okay, you know what's the difference? this car blue and this car red, but they both going down the same assembly line,
Right.
bro. It's the same fucking
Same
car,
speed and
G.
everything,
Yeah, so that y'all low key need to broaden y'all horizons while y'all telling us to catch up. Y'all need to widen y'all motherfucking horizons. But the average Joe could care less. They in the music for the fun of it, not for the art of it. You know, and the powers that be knew that, so they said, all right, we can control this. The only thing people want to do is react to what they hear. They don't care how it's made or who's
Right.
making it. So let's remove love. Exit R&B. Black R&B at that. Let's remove that. That's gone.
And you know that's
Let's remove positive in hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
They trying to go to school and shit. They trying to have pride and care about themselves. Let's remove that. Exit fucking positive hip hop
Right.
and enter motherfucking prison hip hop. Oh man, these girls trying to care about themselves and shit. Exit Queen Latifah, enter my booty hole Brown. Let's make that shit popular. Cause it's all programming. You have program directors. They directing the programming.
That's a fact.
Tell a vision. They telling you what you need to see, bro. Everything is programmed. And as subtle as it seems, and your average Joe could care less, that's exactly what it is, bro. When you got little kids singing this shit.
Right.
I remember little kids used to sing Don't Believe the Hype too.
Right.
And Fight the Power.
Right.
Because music is powerful. Now, the kids of that same age in this year is singing what, bro? You know, so ain't nothing on accident, G. And as a producer, it's fucked up, but thank God for people like Griselda and them bringing the actual graminess and a different variety of music back to the forefront.
I was just about to say, man, who you listening to now? Who you really think is rocking out?
As far as hip hop
In
shit.
terms of the hip hop shit and really taking the time to make sure whatever they like that they really love, that they giving you the best quality product that they can. Because I like all different types of music, but it do like if you just putting out shit just because you gotta, you know, you need 2 more albums to fucking exit out your deal and shit. It gets real tiring. So yeah, man, who you really rocking with? A more simple question.
Shit, I'm rocking with everybody that's nobody's rocking with. Hip hop, I listen to like Edo, you know, of course Griselda and them.
For sure.
You know, hell yeah, Trust Gang, Shay Noir, motherfucking Daniel Son, SD Nack, all that shit is dope. I mean, if you really want to know some dope shit, I mean, some real underground hip hop shit, listen to Killer Tape Network. There go all the shit right there. Shout out Reginald from them there.
Yep.
That Killer Tape Network shit, I don't like all of it, but if you really want to hear what's going on in the motherfucking on the other side of the coin, listen to that shit. But on my own free will, besides that, I listen to a lot of grimy shit, man. I still listen to Petty Craig. I like bars. I like people that take the art of rapping serious, not just putting words together and use trigger words.
Right.
Get money, get money. That's a trigger word. Everybody wants some money, of course. Shake your ass, shake your ass. The Goofies is out of 10 women, 8 of them want to shake their ass. So
Right,
of course,
the simple,
sell to them.
catchy hook.
You know what I'm
things,
saying?
yeah.
Sell to that. You know, but I listen to hip hop like that, and I listen to a bunch of underground shit. AZ, I like his new album. You know. That DJ Muggs album was fucking awesome. You know what I'm saying? That one song with him is Method and Slick Rick on there.
That shit so
Fucking Slick Rick went crazy, Joe.
Right.
Like, god damn, I ain't know that
Bugs
boy
dropped
raw.
like 3 joints with Capadonna a couple years ago. Them shits went crazy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Capadonna, yeah.
Muggs ain't never left. Muggs been going
Yeah,
crazy.
see,
man.
that's
Like
the thing.
30 collab albums.
That's the thing. We ain't never left.
Big facts.
You know what I'm saying? The problem is we deal with so many average Joes that don't see no further than they porch. They don't realize that it's still an audience for what we do. You know what I'm saying? It's still an audience for Rock Marcianos and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? These marks still get money and still touring. How you think they getting money? Fucking West Side Gun don't got money.
Yeah,
And
just
they doing grimy shit.
all the old cats is getting ahead because they're the only one people want to see on tour.
They the only ones people want to see because they bringing something to the table more than the typical thought, ratchet, trifling shit. You can't go to a drill show really unless you expecting to either kill or be killed or fight or something gonna go down because it's gonna be some odd shit. It's part of that culture. It's a deaf culture with that. You got hip hop and rap music. You got hip hop, deaf culture rap, whole culture rap.